Hello, you beautiful nerds. Welcome to the Drunk Banthas podcast, where we talk about sci-fi, fantasy, horror, and all of the popular art that we love. Also, we do it drunk. I'm joined as always with my brother Bill.
What up, what up?
Today we are talking again about The Matrix. Matrix 3, Revelations. Revolutions? Revelations.
Revolutions.
And
Revelation. And Resurrection is the next one?
Yeah, Resurrection.
See, Jesus. That's what it is, Jesus. Y'all know this about Jesus.
The Matrix, Resurrections, hashtag Jesus.
Jesus.
This was when it came out, we thought it was the last installment of The Matrix. What we thought was going to be the final chapter. Y'all
thought it was going to be the final chapter. I was like, yeah, boy, we're going to get another one, right?
Yeah, all you people who...
we're not going to get another one. And so I was wrong at the moment, but then as it turns out, I was right.
Yeah, I honestly don't, I commend you for having faith. It's been 20 years, but they finally decided to come out with a sequel. Well, almost 20 years. And, this one was, revisiting this one was interesting. But do you remember how you felt the first time you watched this one in the theaters?
Well, this just goes to show that you don't listen to the show, Alex, because I said last show, I absolutely loved this movie when it came out. First one, second one, and the third one. Loved them. Told you. I thought there was going to be more. What happened to 4? Why is this not the 7th installment coming up December the 24th or whatever? Why is that not the 7th installment of Neo with the Matrix? You know why? Because he's been busy John Wicking. He's been pretending that he was John. Neo has been stuck in the Matrix thinking that he is John Wick.
You think that's going to be the story for the next one? Is that he's just John Wick? It was like,
he's been John Wick this whole time. And he's like waking up. And so I think
that would be an amazing twist if that were the case. I really hope that that's the case.
So yeah, I obviously loved this movie so much that it's made me not even be able to look at Keanu Reeves as anybody else other than Neo.
Yeah,
Mr. Thomas Anderson.
Yeah, he was managed to. It's like shout outs to Keanu for being able to create another character like John Wick and have him be sort of infamous. There's not a lot of people who don't just get pigeonholed, into their roles. There's Harrison Ford who has managed to do 4 different great iconic roles. But, Keanu, shout outs to him for being able to do 2 awesome, huge roles.
Isn't Harrison Ford's character in those movies where he's saving the country and shit? Isn't those characters supposed to be the same character though too?
The Clear and Present Danger guy.
Yeah, isn't that supposed to be?
I think 4 different characters.
That's 3 characters that Harrison Ford played.
That's another one. I forget about that character. That's a pretty iconic. Jack Ryan. That's
Jack Ryan. That's right. He was Jack Ryan. He was whooping people's ass, and people forgot about Jack Ryan.
Yeah, Jack Ryan whooping
he
people's
didn't
ass
take
in
no
a
shit.
suit.
Jack Ryan then later became the president, and he said, "Get off my plane."
And you know what?
He was not the president. He wasn't. That wasn't the same character.
Yeah.
But he should have been Jack Ryan. He should have just became president. That would have been amazing.
Yeah, that would have been.
I'm over here making movies better, people. This is what we do on the Drunk Banthas podcast.
We make movies.
We make movies better.
Oh, and speaking of John Wick, I meant to mention this in the last episode because you can see him a lot closer. But John Wick director Chad Stahelski, I'm sure I'm pronouncing that wrong.
Yeah.
He was actually Keanu's stunt double in the Matrix trilogy. So you can definitely notice in the Agent Smith fight in the park that a couple of times you can definitely see it's Chad. I don't think you can notice it any times in this movie, but I just thought that'd be a fun little anecdote.
So was he was like scenes where he's like hanging in the air or something? You saw him.
Yeah, every once in a while, he gets flown across the room. Like,
So you saying we had some hanging chads in these in the? Are you trying to say we had hanging chads in the third movie, and that's the reason I feel like I was unfulfilled, huh? Man, Alex, you're
that might
deep.
have led to the.
You are deep.
There are many layers to this movie. You can get it. Here's where you get the information first about hanging chads.
My friend, are deep. You took me to a different place right now. Wow, Chad.
Yeah, this
did
one
some crazy things.
Yeah, this movie was really great. It did definitely focus a lot more on like the Zion stuff, like definitely the big battles. In this one, were more focused on like the boots on the ground, man versus machine battles, which I really appreciated. It's like we kind of got the big war scenes that we never got from like a Terminator series. Where
like. You got the dialogue that you never got in a Terminator series. Like what? Who's having these like conversations about war? Like, because clearly they are. You're like, but we just happen to pop into a Terminator movie where it's just all of a sudden like, well, we're fighting,
right?
We're fighting. But like, clearly there's conversations had at times back and forth. But you've decided to not show us any of that. It's just all fighting.
Yeah.
They have some dialogue as well. We're human beings.
Yeah, they take the time to actually get to know some of these characters, like the kid and the what's her name, Marvin Gaye's daughter. I forget what her name is, but
Marvin Gaye's daughter.
She played
that was
Link's,
very informative.
She played Link's wife, I think, and she was shooting the shells.
Yeah, you can shoot in touch with them peoples too. I felt like you got more of an understanding of the machines as well, though.
For sure.
Like, why wouldn't machines be able to be cordial in some way, in some degree? I mean, they're machines, so why are they just like ripping people apart all for no reason, like barbarians,
right?
Like human beings. Like, why would you do that? So I was glad that that's one of the things that I liked about the third one. It was like programs have a purpose, and they can also make a choice, and blah 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 blah.
Yeah, I did, though it was a little slow. I did like the purgatory scene, the train purgatory scenes where Nia's in his like Matrix coma, and he's having the conversation with Sati and her parents, and about he explores more the nuances of like how these programs feel love, and how they're exploring these emotions of love, and what that means. It just showed like you said that they're more like humans than it lets on there. But even though they're ripping people apart, it's like you said, humans have been doing that to each other for thousands and thousands of years. What makes them that different?
They're supposed to be better than us. Oh yeah, but y'all fucking killing us. That's just nasty. That's distasteful. You think we could have a little bit of conversation? Maybe some checks and balances in place. Maybe a little. Maybe we get see a little sunshine every once in a while. Maybe we can work together, machines.
Yeah.
Maybe we can work with y'all, and y'all can work with us. No, they want to just keep draining batteries. Good deal, Neo. Great deal. I mean, I love the ending, but what a fucking shitty deal.
Yeah, so as far as I can tell, well, but before we get to the end of like what the deal
Sorry, I jumped
is,
in.
no, because I'm curious of what exactly like the terms of agreement were, because it wasn't a whole long negotiation process before he jumped into the fight. So I'm very curious how you feel about that.
What do you want?
But earlier in the film, we got Neo in his Matrix coma next to Agent Smith, or Agent Smith in the real world in his coma.
Fake Agent Smith.
And after after Neo wakes up, him and Trinity decide they're gonna go to the machine world to, I guess, broker some sort of peace. Or he doesn't tell anybody why he's going there.
I can feel them.
Which apparently he gains that power because he after going to the source, and that's why he can feel them and see them.
He apparently made some type of connection with the source while talking to the source because he was already tapped into the Matrix, and he was then now part of their whole network. Which I have a theory as to why that was never known beforehand, or because he was the first to make the decision that he made. He was the first to choose differently than the others before him. His predecessors all chose to save Zion over saving whatever else it was that they needed to save.
Which I was curious.
He chose. He chose Trinity instead of that, and he was like, "Never that, boy, stop." And he went and got his baby girl. You know what I'm saying? He said, "We'll figure the rest out after that, but I need my baby girl." You know what I'm saying? Let me tell y'all something. Shit going down. It ain't going down like that.
I am curious.
So that's why I think that the source, the architect, didn't realize that was what was going to happen.
Right. Yeah.
How could you know that was what was going to happen? Because you already let the other ones go and then reset everything, and everything's cool, and you made a deal already.
Right. And so, and if that's the case, I mean, if that's what he would have done if he would have walked through that door instead of going to save Trinity, is that kind of the same deal that he made with the machines at the end?
No, because the deal is he gets to keep only about 10 or 20 people or something like that. The first deal that he makes Neo is he can save Zion. Zion's going to be destroyed, but you can save it by keeping 20 select or something like that people and restart Zion. And then the whole cycle will be started the Matrix, over again. Instead of reloading into the Matrix, he can just start Zion over again after they destroy it. If he can save 10, 20 people or something like that. I can't remember the exact number he gave them, but he's like, you can take your select. Well, he didn't say you can do this, but he told him what the others did.
Right.
He's telling him, you're going to get up out of here. You're going to get 10 people that you can save and you can keep with you, and and then we're going to kill everybody else, and you can rebuild Zion, and the human race can live on, and this can all happen over again. He's like, or you can go through that door and we'll destroy Zion and we'll destroy everything, and you'll lose her, me and Trinity, and you'll lose everything. He was letting them know, you really ain't got no choice. But that's when Neo was like, we always have a choice.
Right.
So, boom. People, just in case you don't know, I just dropped mad knowledge on y'all.
Y'all give it up. Educating y'all.
Just trying to let y'all know.
And I looking back on this movie, not a whole lot happens in the grand scheme of things, or because
a lot of talking.
It's not
a lot of looking around.
A lot of talking. It's a pretty short movie. It's only 2 hours long. It's
looking around. A lot of looking around.
But yeah, Neo wakes up out of his coma. Then they go to the machine world. Then the fight happens, and then there's the battle for Zion. But there's not really a lot happening other than that. There's that fight scene at the beginning.
Yeah,
but that's just to get Neo out of the coma. But I mean, not a whole lot happened. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. It's just it just moves a lot faster.
I think it was a lot more tension building.
Yeah, it moved. It was shorter than I remembered. It moved a lot faster than I remembered. For some reason, I was expecting it to be as long as Return of the King walking into it, because I hadn't watched it in so long. But
it wasn't like that, man. Y'all was just hating on it when it came out, fam. I'm trying to tell y'all was just entitled, and y'all think y'all just know everything. Y'all think a nigga's supposed to answer y'all's questions. You know what I'm saying? But no, that's not how a movie works, fam. Bomb, bomb. I'm sorry. I smoked a big fat blunt before this. Sorry.
The war on Zion was amazing. It was incredible. The fight and
sad. What are you talking about? You're you're a sadistic human being. It was the saddest shit ever. I was like, oh my God, they're killing all the babies and the children's and the women's and the people's and they all dying. And look at them going out there trying to kill machines with robot machines. This is insane.
Yeah, it was definitely super sad, and I really liked how like how it started out, like really, like how the look started out very bright and like white, because there's like this big bright white light at the beginning of the fight when things still looked sort of optimistic, and then when things look like, okay, definitely everybody's about to die, it gets like really black and orange, and there's like all these fires going around. It looks beautiful, but just terrifying.
Yeah, it was
really
good. It was well shot, but my main concern was, nigga, how in the fuck do we not have an EMP within the walls and the housing of this motherfucking place that we live in?
Yeah.
When we know that's the only thing that will protect us from the machines.
Yeah, y'all.
We should have multiple EMPs. It seemed like
right.
When this motherfucker go off, then they gonna bring another wave. We gonna hit their ass with another one. You know what I'm saying? And then when they get back, we gonna hit their ass with another one. That's what it seemed like you should do.
Yeah,
I feel like they really missed the fucking, like, come on. We're humans, so we're stupid too. We made machines, nigga. We made machines. We made machines to kill us, nigga, and make alternate realities, and then they kill us and shit and drain my body. Look, I know it's problematic, but I made that. I'm smart. I'm a human being.
Yeah, it's like, make something better.
Clearly, I would think of making a fucking EMP in the walls or some shit.
Yeah, something like one of those ion
we got
grenades,
tunnels.
sci-fi.
We got tunnels that we go through, and in case we fucking manage to hit them with a rocket, we can run back into the motherfucker if they don't feel like for some reason following us, because they're just machines. I don't know. That was a lot of that was stupid to me, only because I was like, come on now, I'm about to watch this, make some logic, because I knew we were gonna be watching this, we're covering this. So I'm like watching, like, yeah, here goes this fight scene. I'm like, you know what, some parts of this is stupid. Strategically, this motherfucker trying to act like, I can't remember his name, but the guy who was all pain in the ass.
Oh, the hard neck, like, colonel or...
Oh, no. The guy who was, like, in charge.
Oh, yeah. I know who you're talking about.
Who was,
fucking Martian Manhunter from Justice
Yes,
League.
Martian Manhunter. My name is Martian Manhunter, and I'm going to protect always. I will always protect. I will always try to protect Zion.
Yeah,
that's
a solid.
That
well, Martian Manhunter. I forget his name.
I forget his name too. But he sounds just like this. And if he was here, he would say, "I am doing a good version of him." And
he would.
That motherfucker. How you gonna try to act badass through the whole movie? And you don't have no EMPs, fam. You mad because, well, we were supposed to have our own ships. That's why I didn't want the ships to leave Zion. Like, nigga, why don't you have EMPs that don't exist on ships? Why do they always have to be on ships?
Yeah, why is your best method of defense able to fly away all the time?
Why is your best method of defense to only have 7 or 5 or 10? However many fucking ships exist, why is it and just only have them on them? And, maybe they're here, maybe they're not.
Yeah, like that's
it seems like bad strategy. I don't know.
It's bad choices. Like, but so knowing that he had bad defenses, Zion falls pretty easily.
Well, Zion did not fall. She was penetrated, but she was not impregnated.
I guess
we did not lose Zion. I mean, they didn't.
I guess there was like a second away from getting impregnated. I guess it was.
There you go.
But luckily Neo showed up in the nick of time.
That's called spermicide, baby.
Probably would have gotten there a little bit earlier if he wasn't talking to Trinity.
Yeah, let's just talk to Trinity for fucking 25 minutes. Only thing that's happening right now is all your friends are being ripped to shreds by fucking robots
Yeah, it's like no sense of urgency. Take your
None.
time.
None. None. No, 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 no. No, none. We don't have Jada Pinkett literally being like fucking chased by
Yeah,
hundreds of thousands of robots.
Rubits.
You know,
That was a really good scene. I forgot
dope
how
scene.
tense
Keeps you
that.
tight like this.
Oof.
Oh, damn, woman, you can drive.
Oh, and it's funny because like that was the only time in the whole. I mean, she was only in 2 movies, but in the whole trilogy where I felt like Jada's character had some character because she feels really wooden in like most of her delivery in all the movies. But then when she's flying that ship, she's like, "Oh, this got a fat ass." Like she actually feels like a real person.
Well, they probably watched that and watched some of the cuts that they did and said, you know what, we're gonna give her a little bit more emotion.
Yeah, probably.
It probably something that they looked at the second movie, first movie that she was in, and said, yeah, we got to do better. We can't box Jada in.
Mm-hmm.
We
Yeah,
gotta let Jada be Jada.
yeah. Because some people with the stilted performance, like Carrie-Anne Moss, it works a little bit better with her being more stilted, I guess. But you gotta let Jada be Jada.
I just realized that they named their children's Jaden like after Jada, and then Willow after him. Will was like, look, we get one named after me. I wanted Jaden. I wanted him named after me. Now we getting one named after me. Because she was like, you could get the second one named after you, and she was like, well, look, this one's gonna be a girl, so we can't name it. No, look. We did what you wanted to do. We did what you wanted to do. Y'all work it out now. I want to hear some Will something some Will something. I need Will in the name though, baby girl.
Yeah, I guess if it happened,
I just realized that while you were saying this, Jada, and I was like Jada, and then Jada, like we know her personally, and I'm like.
Oh man, wouldn't it be now that you just said you saying that made me think about, man, wouldn't it have been crazy if Will was Neo and Jada was still ended up in the movie?
Nigga, the only reason I think she did that movie, because he didn't do it.
Oh really? Yeah.
I think that's just forgive me if I'm wrong. I'm not saying she's a bad person for this. I'm just saying I think to be like. Nigga, how did you not do the Matrix?
Right. Somebody in this goddamn family is going to be in the Matrix.
I'm going to be in the Matrix. Guess what? They called me last week, asked me if I want to be in the Matrix. I said yes. He's like, that's easy for you to say. It's famous now. Everybody loves Matrix.
Like, everybody loves the Matrix now, goddamn.
Yeah, like.
It's an easy decision to make.
And she's just like, fuck you. I'm doing it. I'm amazing. This sounds like trains are fucking outside right now.
It's really weird. Yeah,
it's just so y'all know. I don't know if y'all can hear it, but it's just like right now, me and Alex are having trouble looking at each other comfortably in the face because it sounds like we're listening to adults. Train sex outside.
Yeah, it's the best way to describe it, really. It's so weird. It's like a train is screaming, and then the train bed springs are rocking.
Like, why is that train bed so supported? How is the bed supporting those trains? Very weird.
Very, very
but
odd.
It just stopped, so we can move on to the next topic.
So yeah, we get the final fight scene with Neo and Agent Smith, and now you had mentioned what's like. Well,
I'm here. I'm just keep going.
No, you're good. Yeah, we were talking earlier about how there was a deal between the machines and the humans. Now, what exactly do you think, I guess, the negotiation was? Because I think I have a pretty good idea from, this conversation and then, I guess, what the Oracle and the Architects say after, I guess, how they're going to cohabitate with the humans. But how do you...
Peace can't last forever. I think that's what one of the programs said and some shit like that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, it was explained in the movie, by the architect, the Oracle is the light is the yin to the other to the architect's yang,
Right.
or the yang to the yin.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Anyway, um,
One of those.
right? Because which one's the good one? Is the white and the black? Black and white. They're both
And
black.
that's-
One of them's white. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Which one's the good one though? Like white or black?
Yeah. Then it gets racial.
You know what I'm saying? That when you get racial, because every now you trying to tell me why you trying to tell me black mean negative. Why black got to be bad? Why black is negative? Why black is scary? Black
Right.
should be beautiful. Black should be amazing. Black should be inspiring. Black should be D. White should be scary. No, I'm not saying white should be scary. But anyway, you see what I'm saying though. So since they were supposed to be the yin and the yang,
Mm-hmm.
I believe that really the peace was called between them two.
Mm.
You see, she's not gonna go trying to be awakening any more Neos and like trying to create any more craziness, but also they're not going to be trying to keep them from releasing any people from from the Matrix if they find out that the Matrix is fake.
Right. Like, well, yeah, like they had mentioned that people have a choice. So I'm not sure if that means exactly that they're just going to basically.
I think that means that because they're not going to attack Zion, I think that means that Morpheus and his crew are still allowed to go out there and inspire people.
Right. Okay.
As they did with Neo. They didn't outright go and get Neo until they thought that he was in danger.
Right.
So.
And so you don't think there's going to be like a PSA like that taps into the Matrix where everybody gets like a little
hello
message that says,
everyone.
Hello everyone.
This Matrix is fake. If you would like to exit, please reach to the back of your skull and pull out a large tubular injected material into your body.
Right.
Like no, pull a big ass needle out of your head.
Yeah.
And then you'll just wake up. No, I don't think it was going to be nothing like that, like where they just tell them. Like I think it meant through this process that we've been doing. Mm-hmm. Now you ain't gonna, instead of you trying to kill us for stopping instead of you trying to kill us for influencing people,
right?
Which is essentially all back to religion. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Instead of you trying to kill us, persecute us for trying to influence people, you just let it. Whatever happens, happens.
Right.
You still get to be in power.
Right.
We still serve you, but let us do what we want to do. And maybe one day they won't be able to serve you because enough people will choose to not be underneath your rule. Right.
And of course there'll be the Joey Pantolano Joey Pants of the world. He was in the first movie. He wanted to go back into the Matrix. He wanted to live there. So I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people like that. It's like, no, I'd rather eat my steak. It looks really awful and cold in the real world. I'd rather stay here.
I'm sorry, everybody. I don't have a Joey Pantolano impersonation. It's really bad. I'm listening to it in my head, and I'm like,
nah.
That is bad. Don't want to put that kind of tape out there, people. You know, I need good game tape. And y'all gonna make me do bad game tape if I put that out there.
Nah.
So, no, not today.
Don't put that on me, Ricky Bobby.
But check him out in Bad Boys. Amazing.
Yeah, he's great. I guess Morpheus and them are gonna keep doing what they're doing and saving people. Which I am curious of what the next movie is gonna be, or like why Morpheus is gone. I think that they said that.
I think it's because Lawrence Fishburne is not really well liked in Hollywood right now.
Oh, really?
I think that's more so what it is. Really, I mean, you know, I could be wrong, but
yeah, possibly, yeah.
But if I'm right, hit like and subscribe and put it down in the comments. Let me know if you think that, you know, Lawrence Fishburne. What do you think the reason Lawrence Fishburne isn't in this movie? What do you think the real reason is? Mm-hmm. Like, comment, and if you haven't subscribed, please go ahead and do it right now. Hit the little like button. Bing.
Yeah, I'm curious what the story is going to be that leaves him out and then has the two people who are dead coming back. But then if you do want your Neo Morpheus team up reunion, you can always just watch John Wick 3. But
Spoilers.
I mean,
Jesus.
they're both in the movie. They're in the trailer. Like
I'm joking. I'm joking.
But I will.
I haven't seen John Wick 3 or John Wick 1 or John Wick 2.
Weird order to go. 3, 1, 2.
That's the one we started with.
Right, yeah.
So that's one I had to go with.
I
wasn't going to go backwards.
Speaking of dead people in this movie, Neo.
So morbid.
We get our last big.
Neo didn't die.
Well,
why are you hurting people's feelings?
We'll get to that. But because I'm very curious how you feel about that. But we do get our last fight between Neo and Agent Smith. But it's just mano y mano. The other Agent Smith decided they're gonna sit this one out. I will say, even though
mano y mano is stereo, just so you know.
Oh, is it?
I mean, 2 mono signals is stereo.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm sorry. That was a bad. It was a bad joke. I mean, it might have been a good joke. Maybe some of y'all like that. Maybe y'all don't like that.
It's a little audio humor for you guys.
I got some more coming for y'all, baby. I got some more coming for y'all.
It's though it is like it does have like all these tremendous CGI things and all this incredible fight choreography. Really makes you think we can have a decent Dragon Ball Z movie. I think you mentioned that on one of the other pods that it really.
That's the first thing that came out of thinking. And in the 4th movie, like, yo, we can really do Dragon Ball Z now.
Yeah,
it's possible. It's possible.
Well,
the second movie, I was like, that was cool. Maybe we could do a Dragon Ball Z movie. But then the third one, they did a lot of those flying scenes where they were, fighting in the rain, and that's really hard to digitally animate. So
right.
I'm like, they did everything they did all the hardest parts. Like, so it's definitely doable. Got a fucking Dragon Ball Z movie, and guess what? It was dog shit. Why can't we just have people do things the right way?
Yeah, I mean, and it would be great if we got a Dragon Ball Z movie, but I'm kind of even wary to ask people to do that because people be messing up anime.
Why?
People be messing up anime adaptations.
Because people are racist. That's really, I think, what it is. It's like they didn't watch it, they don't care to watch it, and then they just want to do whatever they want to do with it. Like, no, that's not. Why don't you just make? I mean, to be fair, Dragon Ball Z had Mr. Popo.
Yeah. Anime
and they're like
some
their fucking way to like not make it racist is to put Mr. Popo as a purple character. Did you see that? Like he's purple now.
I didn't.
Whenever
see
they play those, and I'm like, dude, just go back to the regular racist Mr. Popo. It's fucking grimace looking ass motherfucker with the same weird lips and the same weird nose. Like,
yeah, it's like, oh, that's much better. Thank you.
No, yeah, if you're not gonna reanimate it, let's just go ahead and just let Mr. Popo live his life. And I just had a crazy song popping in my head. I'm in love with the Popo. If you had a business, we gotta do that. We gotta get a video. We gotta edit up some Mr. Popo footage and play that song.
Oh my God, that would be. If you guys want to tune into our anime podcast, check us out. But no, and we will talk more about like anime when we talk about Cowboy Bebop. When
look at that teasers for y'all. Look at that touching on your, tickling your balls, tickling your little vagina hairs, touching everything all around you with all your permission.
Consensual touches. But I will say that
teasing, baby, teasing. Cowboy Bebop. Harold done graduated from college now.
Yeah.
Find him a different.
I will.
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry.
I will say that as crazy and like fantastic as the movie, I mean, as the fight scene is, or like as big as it is, it's probably my least favorite like Neo Agent Smith fights. Like I think that the first one, I mean, not the first one, I guess like the big train sequence or the subway fight is still like my favorite. Like that whole sequence from
That's the first
Ben
fight.
yeah, I guess that is the first fight.
That's the.
Yeah.
Wow.
That one's still just so incredible to me. And I still really like the Agent Smith fight in the park. For some reason, that was just the idea of him fighting the multiple Smiths. That's really, really cool to me. Maybe it's just because it is the third fight. It's the least interesting one to me. Or
no, nigga, it's because he lost.
No, that's not it. Like, because I think like during the actual fight, like I remember even when I saw it in the theaters, it wasn't. I didn't have that same engagement. Maybe it's because they felt very evenly matched
I think it's
early
because
on.
motherfuckers didn't know what the fuck was going on. I honestly think that's what it was. A lot of people just didn't. At that point, you're really confused as to what is happening. Like, why is happening? Like, why is Neo able to see everything? Why, did he put himself back into the Matrix? Like, what was this deal that he just made? Like, people just, and then all of a sudden you got this fight happening, and they're doing a lot of dialogue within this fight too. So you're trying to keep up, but at the same time you're like, what just fucking happened back there earlier though? You know what I'm saying? Like, so to a degree, I think people in the first viewing, you're like kind of confused as to what I'm actually watching. How am I supposed to feel about this? Because I don't even know what I was supposed to feel about what just happened earlier.
Right. Oh, I mean, yeah, I guess I can see how some people could be a little like overwhelmed because there is a lot of stuff going on. Like Neo just fought real Agent Smith in the real world, and then got his eyes burnt out, and then now he can see electricity. I mean, you can see the machine world, and like via this beautiful light arrangement. It's really, really cool.
But
so
why?
I guess,
but you know what I'm saying? But why isn't explained, so it's like so much.
Right, I can see how
on.
that could confuse some people. The only thing actually that confused me, I remember, and still, I guess, to this day, is like, Smith, if you really want to win this fight, just like bring in 2, 3, 4 your other dudes to jump in, like you did in the last movie. Like you could
jump in.
I guess the implication
I
is
don't know.
that
I had to do that. I don't know why.
I guess the implication that he is more superpowered now that he absorbed the Oracle, because this is supposed to be Oracle Smith, because he's seeing the future and stuff like that. He can see the end, and then I guess that's why he's so equally matched with Neo now, rather than needing like multiple.
I don't think he was
Agent
equally
Smiths.
matched. I think Neo was unable to beat him because he didn't want to beat him. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
That
he knew he had to do it differently because he didn't want to like just kill this version of Agent Smith, because to a degree it's whoever he really is that he's taken over. That's who they really are. So he didn't want to kill anybody.
Right.
And he like realized he needed to sacrifice himself.
So you think he realizes that like in the middle of the fight?
I think he realized that before he got to the fight.
Okay. Well, that's why it does feel a little, I don't know, like subconsciously, it feels a little less weighted, because he is going into a fight that he essentially doesn't need to participate in. He could just, like, I guess, sacrifice himself as soon as he gets there, Because the ultimate goal is, I think now. Does he basically do what he did in the first movie, but like since he's been taken over by Smith, he explodes all the Smiths like in the same way he did at the end of the first movie.
He let. You got to remember, excuse me, Agent Smith put his hand into Neo and took him over and became Agent Smith.
Right.
In the other movie, Agent Smith.
Yeah, it's Neo jumped into him.
So, yes, but it's not. So it's not the same thing. What it is it's an overriding. He's copying himself onto him. So you got to think kind of nerdy, computer nerdy at this point. So he's copying himself onto that. But what it's saying is that he is the original. So that's what it means by him being the one. You know what I mean? So like he is one with the source. So he has the original source code. And when he tried to overwrite him, all he did was allow Neo to get into his source code.
Right.
And then overwrite him.
Right.
So, if that makes any sense, like he thought, Agent Smith thought he could overwrite Neo, but didn't realize by injecting himself into Neo, he would then be giving Neo the ability to completely wipe out his system.
And it's
kind of like hacker wars, if you will, because like these kinds of things take place like, some hacker might think he's going to be able to jump into somebody else's machine, but then ends up getting a fucking virus because he jumped into somebody else's machine and then they gave them a virus.
Right. So is it because he like lets him physically take him over and then he, dismantles him? That's why he, I guess, seemingly dies, or his physical body doesn't exist in the Matrix anymore. Because, like, at the end, all the Agent Smiths explode. We don't see Neo, and we just see his unconscious body in the real world. Do you think that
Neo
happened because Neo got taken over by Smith?
No. Neo is definitely alive. He's definitely put back into the Matrix. He is put back into the Matrix as a regular person and, like, given back false memories so that he can be a part of it. And
so do you think that was part of the whatever negotiation between them?
Yeah, definitely. He's like saying, take me back into the Matrix. Let there be peace. You can keep me in the Matrix. I'm going to kill this motherfucker, but don't harm my folks.
So he's basically saying, like, I'll barter this peace if, like, I put away humans' greatest weapon, which is me.
Yeah.
You can put me in a bunker.
Because that's what they're truly afraid of, him. Which that's the reason Zion gets destroyed every time, is because the one becomes revealed, and then I think that the way that the machines view it is there could be more than one,
right?
Because they don't view it as there's just one guy like the humans do. They know for a fact there's been 7 of these situations to take place.
Right.
So therefore there could be more people to take place within one generation. So they wipe it out when a one arises.
Right.
So I think, he was like, look, you can give me back. And that way nobody's coming after your neck. You know what I'm saying? And I'll get rid of old buddy. I'm going to clean the roaches and the rats up out of this motherfucker. And then y'all can, like, do what you want to do.
Right.
But if some people want to leave, they can leave.
Yeah, that makes sense. I'm very curious of how. I'm very curious of what it looks like in the new movie, or if they show how it transitioned from where we are in the new movie to like then. Because
they're going to talk about all of that, man.
I mean,
I'm not trying to ruin anything.
Have to. No,
I'm just saying. I'm not saying what they have to do. I'm telling you what they're gonna do. I'm not saying. I'm just saying. I'm not trying to ruin anything. But definitely, things will be explained in this movie. You said you saw a trailer, right, for this movie?
I did watch the trailer when it first came out. I've already forgotten.
I'm just saying. So Trinity. So you know that Trinity is going to be in this movie.
Yeah, and I knew that.
And so my point is that so with that, it shows you that They put him back into the Matrix. They put her back into the Matrix. They somehow healed her, saved her life.
Somehow. I mean,
So-
like, I'm curious, yeah, because I don't know if
She
she's gonna
did.
be a
She died.
program. Yeah, you also don't think she's like a program or anything?
I don't
like
think
that?
she's a program, though. I don't think she's a program because they showed us that they have crazy technology. Like,
Yeah.
even though, so she could have been revived, and they're robots, so she could be half robot.
Yeah,
Who
yeah. We don't know
knows?
what she looks like in the real world. She could be just
She
like
could just
a
be
brain
just
and a tube.
yeah, sustained fucking half robot body, half, whatever. And they were like, well, we knew this is the only way you would stay in the Matrix, like if you keep seeing this bitch. Every once in a while, you just walk down the street, you see her. So.
Yeah.
I don't know but that's the beauty of it. I don't know what the fuck is going to happen in this movie. We saw a whole long trailer for this movie, and nobody knows what's going on in the movie. I love it. I believe the Matrix is the beginning of that, where they would show you a trailer and you ain't got no idea what the fuck the movie's about, and then it comes out and you go there and you see it and you're like, wow, I had no idea. I saw all these things in the trailer, but I didn't know what the hell was going on. I love that about a movie. That tells you that the movie is going to be good. If you watch a trailer, ladies and gentlemen, this is your Bill Drunk Podcast, This is your Bill Drunk Banthas podcast test that'll serve you well for how a movie is going to be good or if it's going to be bad. When you just watch the trailer, just pay attention. Watch the trailer. And if they show you the whole movie, if you feel like you've seen Act 1, Act 2, and Act 3 throughout the entirety of the trailer, then that is going to be a terrible movie.
Yeah.
If you feel like you don't know what the fuck this movie is supposed to be about, but you just see a whole bunch of cool shit and some cool actors, that is going to be an amazing movie.
I will say that, like everything, like all things in life, there are small exceptions. Because I remember when the Spider-Man Homecoming came out. Man, Sony must have been thirsty about that because I remember seeing like everything about that movie before it came out, and it still didn't turn out good.
But that you got to remember that's the internet too, and that's why you stop watching trailers too.
Yeah, that's actually the one that broke me.
So, so that's you got to quit watching trailers because if you watch the internet, and everybody who is listening, thank you for listening on the internet. You know what I'm saying? Like and subscribe right now, and make sure you comment and please don't comment any spoilers for Spider-Man No Way Home in these comments.
Please,
let me tell you something. The most spoiled movie in the history of movies right now is Spider-Man No Way Home.
It sounds like it. I've been dodging these spoilers like mine's.
Let me tell you something. I hope 40% of them are right, and I hope the rest of them are wrong only because I like when these motherfuckers be wrong. I like seeing these nerds being like, it wasn't Mephisto. And but it just goes, like I was saying, it goes to show you, it just goes to show you how well these Matrix movies are done and how much thought is put into them because you don't go into them knowing what's going to happen. And you come out probably knowing even less what's going to happen.
Yeah, like they're definitely not. I appreciate how dense they are. Because people argue that you're not supposed to have these many questions about a film. Like you're supposed to be able to easily digest it. But there are movies like Inception and 2001: Space Odyssey that people are still debating to this day. I think the complexity of movies don't make it less interesting or boring. I think that if you do it right, it just adds to the richness of it.
Facts.
This is probably my least favorite of the three movies, but it's not necessarily. It doesn't mean that it's bad. I don't think that it's bad by any stretch of the imagination. I just think that
not a bad movie.
The first one is just like a perfect movie. It's just so incredible. It's a hard one to top because once you open that door of this world, continuing the story is tough. And people get onto Game of Thrones, how the last season was admittedly not good at all. but I would say that the last season is probably better than most other shows on their best day. It's just Game of Thrones was held to such a high standard because they were killing it for so many seasons. Had spectacular writing and acting and all that good stuff.
I don't think you can compare Game of Thrones last season to anything but every other show's last season. I don't think you can compare it to you know what I'm saying? You have to compare their last season to other shows' last season. How did they close? How did Game of Thrones close? And it's not really good. It doesn't really, but I mean, if you look at how other shows close shows don't really close well.
Yeah,
especially HBO shows.
Yeah, yeah, and it's
So,
I think it's just for whatever reason.
That's a different conversation.
I think it's a conversation for long form stories because I would compare it to at least the Rise of Skywalker. Like how they
no, because we're talking. See, that's what I'm about to say. See, we're talking about something completely different because those are movies. You're talking about movie. We're talking about movies. Those are television shows.
Yeah.
So that's why it's different. That's why it's different because it's a movie. You have less ability to tell the story, you have a shorter period of time to be able to tell the story, so you have less nuance. You have no reason to fuck up a television show that has been doing very well for a very long time because you've got all the time you need.
Right.
You should have fucking figured this shit out.
I mean,
yeah.
I
understand what you're saying, but I was just saying we can't compare those two because we're talking about movies and TV.
Fair enough. My point was just that this was the end. This was way better than the ending of say Game of Thrones. It was
I would say is better than the ending of say most any goddamn. How about just we do movie series? How about Back to the Future 3? It was definitely better than Back to the Future 3.
Sure.
I mean, I feel like it was better than. Might not have been as better than Lethal Weapon 3, but I think it was better than. I think it was better than Beverly Hills Cop 3.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? As far as closeouts, but little did you know, it wasn't a motherfucking closeout. I told y'all back then it wasn't the end. It wasn't the end.
Yeah, and even Oracle said, when Oracle was talking to Sati at the end, Sati says, "Do you think we'll see him again?" And Oracle's like, "Yeah, I think we do. I suspect so." Is what she says.
I suspect so.
So she guess she always and like you said, where she was talking about how peace doesn't last forever. I guess she's like, yeah, this is gonna last for a while, but then eventually,
something
we gonna need Neo to come back.
So something gonna happen. I'm gonna sit down here for a little while, but when he leave, I'll be talking again.
Any final thoughts on Matrix 3?
I can't wait to see Matrix 4. That's my thoughts, baby. Yeah, that's my thoughts. I can't wait to see it. Keep it in my thoughts. Yeah. Yeah. Matrix.
I'm not as excited about Matrix 4. But yeah, I'm down to see it.
I'm excited, man.
Looking forward to it.
I'm excited. My nipples are hard, y'all. I'm excited. I'm erect in ways not known to man.
I am curious, how the next installment's gonna go. Maybe this inspires more sequels. I don't know. I don't know if this is what they decide to close it out with, but yeah,
you better stop. You know, they got all these John Wick movies. You know, nigga, they better do me more about 3 more. Run me off about 3-4 more goddamn Matrix movies.
Who knows?
Till the wheels fall off in this bitch.
Maybe Neo finally dies in this one, and he passes the torch or some shit. I don't know. Who knows? Who knows where this one's going?
Terrible move if you're gonna kill off the only guy who makes more money in action movies right now than Keanu Reeves is The Rock.
Yeah,
you'd be stupid to kill out this cash cow right now. Which, come on, let's be honest, is the only reason they brought him back. They see all them John Wick movies making money.
Right.
They go, Oh, we could have just kept doing that? Oh.
You know, before the pandemic happened, the John Wick 4 and Matrix 4 were supposed to come out on the same day. That would have been interesting to see which movie did better. But, yeah, I guess we'll never know. Alternate universe.
Guess meow, we'll never know.
But yeah, guys, that's it for this pod. Thanks for listening to the Drunk Banthas podcast. We do this every once in a while, so go ahead and have we do this every once in a while, so go ahead and leave a like and subscribe so you can get updates on new episodes of the pod and new video essays from yours truly. Until next time, stay safe, my little residents of Zion, and may the force be with you.